Jinwoo is insanely powerful at the end of Season 1, but what rank is he? Finishing the season, we're left asking ourselves a very important question. Has Jinwoo finally achieved S rank? Now, finding the answer to this was not simple, like not even remotely. I had to not only rewatch the series, which by the way the English translation is incredible, but I also had to sift through dozens of chapters, and I even attempted to create my own formula to try to translate Jinwoo's levels into actual hunter ranks. Going through all of this though, I quickly realized that without the manhwa, it's literally impossible to determine Jinwoo's rank by the end of the season. But let's start from the beginning, and I can promise you by the end of this, we should all have a good idea. The best point of reference to focus on is his levels and the opponents he faces at those levels. At level 15, Jinwoo killed a C rank monster in an E rank dungeon. Barely. That monster was the blue venom fanged Kasaka. Now, it's very safe to say that Jinwoo was probably somewhere in the C rank before this fight. Shortly after this encounter though, we run into Dong-suk and his team. Jinwoo was betrayed and forced to fight against the dungeon's boss by himself. The spider was the boss of a C rank dungeon, and although this wasn't exactly easy, he was just a little tired by the end of it. But after this, the real test comes. Dong-suk and his men come back and try to kill him. That's 5 C rank hunters and 3 D ranks. At level 21, Jinwoo completely toyed with them. This could really only realistically be done by a B rank hunter. When looking at the data thus far, it seems at first glance that there's a whole rank jump at approximately every 5 levels. But I can tell you right now it's way more complicated than that. And I mean very complicated. Something to remember is that Jinwoo wasn't just an E rank. He was at the very bottom of the E rank pool. So imagine his first 5 levels was him climbing to the top of E. Then from level 6 to 10, he hit D rank. When he finally hit C rank at level 11, something changed though. You see, if we map the solo leveling ranks from E to S, it would form the shape of a pyramid. There could be thousands of E rankers, and as you climb to the top, the list gets fewer and fewer. Similar rules apply to dungeons and their difficulty. After C rank, the dungeon's difficulty increases significantly. This being said, it's safe to say that it would make sense if more levels were required to reach the higher ranks. Although we'll see later in this video, the math isn't quite perfect. Keep this in mind though. For Jinwoo to reach B rank, he'll need to at least hit level 20. And then for A rank, it might make sense for the threshold to be somewhere around, let's just say level 40. And we do see just that. A few episodes later, Jinwoo finds himself in a 1v1 against a B rank assassin type. During this time, Jinwoo was somewhere around level 27. For rank purposes, this was a fairly even match, showing that Jinwoo was somewhere around mid-tier B. What really got Jinwoo this win though, is his ridiculous list of skills that really wouldn't be expected by any hunter at his rank. So if 6 additional levels after fighting Dong-suk's group only puts him at about mid-tier B, it's safe to say that in order to rank up now, it would take roughly 20 levels, also known as level 40. This is actually basically confirmed in episode 10 when he receives his job change quest at level 40. He states in this episode that he estimates his rank to be somewhere between B and A. Like I said, it's not really perfect math, but it's pretty darn close. Moving from here to the end of the season, the manhwa shows us in chapter 45 that he has reached level 51. Now we can pretty much say for certain that he's at least in A rank at this point. But how high into A is he? Well, this is where things get very, very complicated. At this point in the video, I could say trust me bro, or I could just spoil it for you, but I'm gonna try to do something different. Instead, I'll leave you with some food for thought. Jinwoo doesn't gain power from just leveling. He also gains ability points from his daily quests, random side quests, achievements, and he also gets boosts from titles he earns. On top of all of this, at the end of the season he now controls a small force of shadow soldiers and gained a massive stat boost as well. Oh, and by the way, the new title he got kinda puts him on another level by itself. The anime did mention he gets a new one, but they didn't really dive into what the title actually is. I wouldn't necessarily call this a spoiler, but the anime basically left it out, and I don't really blame them. The title is The One Who Overcame Adversity. For every 1% of his health that Jinwoo loses, all of his stats increase by 1% as well. As you can see, I just listed off like a dozen things, and things just get more and more complicated and diluted the further you dive into the show. Anyway, all this to say that because of the additional boost Jinwoo has gotten, it's reasonable to assume that the level cap won't really increase. Instead, it makes much more sense for the level cap to remain somewhat similar as the jump from B to A. This would place Jinwoo at the end of Season 1 in a mid-tier A position at level 51. Anyway, if you don't agree with me or you have your own theory, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to talk about it.